This is 3 to 5 years. Yeah, so this age group is very crucial, and this is the time we introduce pretend play for to and imaginative play, cognitive play. We actually introduce different sports to the children because we've done a lot of physiotherapy, and the child is mostly walking and running also most of the time. So we actually introduce sports. Whatever sport we should actually go for gymnastics and badminton, all of that. You can actually expose and see the regular bat and ball, any sport, the football. Rather than just continuing with the physiotherapy, if you introduce sports, that takes care of, the practice goes on. So the physiotherapy is not required, and the sports is what takes over. Play partners. So play partners play a very important role. So you try to have, try to see that they have typical children playing with them, and because they look and learn faster. They look at the other children and they learn faster. So that's how an inclusive environment is the best for children with Down syndrome, because they really learn very well when they are with the typical children. They learn faster. There is a research also which says, and it is actually proven that they do much better if they are in an inclusive school than the special school, because in special school they are not pretty challenged. They don't see any challenge to do better, whereas in an inclusive schools they see much better children performing much better than them. So they actually want to be like them. So they try to perform much better. So that's about it. And group play, turn taking games, visual scheduler, I already mentioned. Age appropriate behavior is a must. We should not be just treating them as a 1 year or a 2 year. We should teach them, because if we want to send them to school, we need to teach them appropriate behavior, right? So that should be incorporated, and practice and repetition is the key for them. And as I already mentioned, inclusive environment is the best. So can we have the next slide? Yes, and as I said, if you have introduced them with the pop books, the sound books, and the touch and feel books, definitely the child will be ready to read books. So you have to start introducing with very smaller books and very colorful and very little text, those books to these children, and they will slowly love reading, coloring, tracing, writing. So there is a gap of, there is, 3 to 5 I have mentioned. So you have to really see, if the development has happened, only then you introduce writing. If the fine motors are not there, the gross motor skill is not yet developed, you cannot introduce writing, right? Because there'll be no strength. So it's not like, so then again, you will have to wait for some time. You'll have to work on the gross motor. You'll have to work on the fine motors, and only then you can start with writing, right? So I'm assuming that the intervention is done from 0 to 3 years, and that is how I have mentioned writing in between 3 to 5 years. So if the intervention is not done in the early years, and this child is still struggling, we cannot introduce tracing or writing. And always follow the child's lead. As I said, always give options, let the child explore, see what the child's interest is. Don't give your interest, don't put your interest on your child. See what the child likes and follow his lead, and give him opportunities to according to his taste. Allow freedom to explore, give choices, as I said, encourage self-help skills, which is so important. Involve them in daily activities. Whatever you're doing at home, taking out vegetables, washing vegetables, just putting the clothes in the, washing machine, all these, life skills are so important, for them to actually gain a little bit of confidence. They really feel motivated that they are able to do some of these instructions which you give, and they're able to help and support, because they always love to do that. Self-help skills definitely have to be encouraged. Toilet training, you should self-help skills maybe, as simple as putting that plate in the sink, or bringing some spoons from the kitchen, or bringing some glass from the, their own things. You should just encourage, not don't be always at their service. Just try and see whether they are able to start with one instruction, then two instructions, then three instructions, but start off. If you don't start, then it gets more delayed. Parent-teacher partnership is a must if you want to see a complete, a successful child, an independent child. Both the parent and teachers play a very, very important role. There has to be a team effort. Otherwise, the child will really be confused. If there is a gap, the child is definitely going to be confused, and because you will be doing something else and the teacher in the school will be doing something else. So it's always better to be a team and work on the same goals to achieve the goals. And then the child will be sorted always. Assistive technology, that is the need of the hour. You should not restrict them to just reading, writing. Some children do not enjoy writing for a while. So just leave it for a while and you can introduce them to computer on typing. It's the same thing, right? So we have to introduce assistive technology, allow the child to initiate activities and interactions, right? So give opportunities, for the child to actually speak his mind, what he likes, join in the activities which he wants to. That will give him a lot of confidence, and you will see a leader in him on a later stage. Give small tasks and responsibility, I already spoke about, and give a lot of positive feedback, even if activities are completed with a lot of support, which is so important. Consistent appreciation is the key for any child with Down syndrome. I think for all of us, but especially for them, a lot of appreciation works. So let us all try to give as much positive feedback for the smallest thing which they do. They get really motivated and do much better the next